What would you do to like figure out your own thoughts and emotions?
That would be very difficult, especially if you're still in the relationship with the person who's gaslighting you all the time.
Right.
Good luck,
Well, I
because they're
just
not
mean
going to
like
let you.
well, I meant like after the fact.
Okay,
like,
so let's say you get out of an
Yeah.
abusive relationship, right? Well, part of that is learning to reality test. That's one thing that you can teach people to do. And typically, though, like if they're going to get out of it on their own, maybe being on their own for a long enough period of time in stress situations where they have to make decisions that are important to people that they're taking care of or protecting can help them learn to test reality again and see that it is okay, see that you're aware, see that you know the things that you think you know. But even then, it only comes back in limited amounts.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you may not be as bad about questioning your own judgment in certain circumstances, but overall, you're still diminished because you've been damaged for a long enough period of time.
I feel like the idea of beauty is a good
Sure.
example, because I feel like all of us as women have been manipulated to believe that a certain body type or a certain look is what defines you as beautiful. But
Yes.
like, what do you think yourself
Exactly.
is
Yes.
beautiful?
Yeah, no, it's a very good point. Absolutely. And and that's a sense of manipulation that's been done over a long period of time that makes
I feel-
people question their
right.
own reality.
I feel like a lot of people can at least relate to that.
Right.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
sure they can. But a way that you have to look at this too is you almost can't do this on your own.
Right, yeah.
Because reality is a shared experience. What we agree to be real is shared. This is why one reason why isolating somebody for a long period of time tends to drive them crazy, because they don't have anybody else to be around them to gauge what's real and not real. So we share reality and we judge other people's response to the things that happen, and that helps us understand whether or not what we think is real or not.
So you need a reality check, buddy.
Yes, exactly.
which is-
That's
yeah.
a friend. A friend is a reality check buddy.
And
Yes.
like I've said before, I used Matt as that, like as a grounding, to be like, okay, is this real? Is this am I being over dramatic or anything like that?
Yes.
And so, but it has to be somebody that you trust, that has been consistent. Consistent is a big one.
Yep.
That has been consistent enough for you to be able to trust them, that they're not going to manipulate you to believe what they want to. Because
And other
you
people
have
seem
that-
to trust them too.
Yes, other people trust them, that they seem to have what you're looking for, in yourself. I mean, you can look at those people, you can think of those people that you admire, and you want to look people with those types of traits that you would trust to help you find your reality or your answers your own way and
Yeah.
not in their way, basically.
Sure, absolutely.
Which is kind of difficult to find, but also another reason that therapy is good for everyone.
It is. Well, because therapy is, if someone's coming to me and they've had issues trusting their own reality, I am not trying to confirm for them whether or not their perception of reality is correct. It's not my job to do that. I don't bring people in and go, okay, this is what you should think, this is what you should believe. That is the wrong way to handle people in the vast majority of situations. The only time that you can do things like that is when somebody's sense of reality is so incredibly skewed that they just need a base level to
Like
begin
mental
working with.
breakdown
Yes.
level.
Yes.
Maybe like inpatient level.
Yes, right. And that would be just telling them things like, hey, you're safe here. It's okay. Because I have to tell them in those moments that they're safe. They can't judge it on their own very well. And so I have to at least start laying the groundwork of some level of reality to start working off of. But in most cases, I'm just teaching people to start reality testing. Like, okay, so if they're like, well, what should I do in this situation? Or I don't even know if I'm feeling right about it. I'm like, well, let's examine it. So let's teach you how to examine what you've observed, what you've weighted against, what you think, what you believe, what your value system is, what the people around you seem to think that you have trust for. And then after all of that, then we can determine if something seems to be an accurate reality or not. But you're teaching them how to test their own world and their own reality.
I have a question.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so let's say with gaslighting, it's someone forcing their perspective on the person that they're abusing.
Yeah.
what if these two perspectives, like where it seems like there's a thin line with gaslighting, right?
Yes.
Because people can have two totally different perspectives of the situation and
Yes.
both feel very, very right in it. So like, is that thin line just like whenever you use abusive techniques to push your perspective on someone else consistently until they back down and assume your perspective?
Yes. I think you just answered the question for yourself. Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, the idea is, I mean, you have a different perspective and I have a different perspective, and say we're passionate about our perspectives, right? Well, we can get into a pretty passionate debate about something. But I'm not trying to gaslight you, because I'm not trying to make you think that your reality is so far off that you must take my reality. I'm simply passionately stating to you, this is what I believe, think, and feel, and here's why I do. And you're doing the same, and we may be trying to change each other's mind, or maybe we're just stating our positions and it's something we're passionate about. But I'm not trying to beat you down with my perspective until you accept it. And that's the fine line between gaslighting and just having a passionate understanding, conversation, or debate about something.